Water is the source of all life, a force of immense power, and a key to survival. But in South Asia, it's also a source of bitter conflict. While the world's attention is often fixed on oil, a silent struggle is being waged over a different liquid gold one that flows through the Indus River, shaping the fate of India and Pakistan. This is the story of the Indus River War, the water conflict you probably never knew about. The Indus River begins its epic journey high in the Himalayas, in Tibet. It flows through India's Ladakh region, across the vast plains of Pakistan, and finally empties into the Arabian Sea. At over 3,000 kilometers long, it's a lifeline for more than 250 million people. But the Indus doesn't flow alone. 5 major tributaries, the Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Beas, and Sutlej, feed into it, creating a vast network of waterways. Together, they form the Indus Basin, one of the most critical river systems on Earth. Now, just imagine what happens when this life-giving system is sliced apart by borders and entangled in politics. When India and Pakistan were created in 1947, the new borders didn't just divide people, they divided rivers. Suddenly, the farmlands of Pakistan, the very foundation of its economy, became dependent on rivers that originated in India. The potential for conflict was immediate. In 1948, India temporarily halted the flow of canal waters into Pakistan. It was a clear warning shot, a demonstration of just how powerful a weapon water could be. The world was witnessing the first major post-colonial water standoff, and the stakes couldn't have been higher. To pull back from the brink of war, the two nations turned to diplomacy. In 1960, after years of intense negotiations mediated by the World Bank, they signed the historic Indus Waters Treaty. The deal was a delicate compromise. India gained control over the eastern rivers, the Ravi, Beas, and Sutlej, while Pakistan was granted control over the western rivers, the Indus, Jhelum, and Chenab. It was a fragile but remarkable achievement, a rare example of successful diplomacy in South Asia. For decades, even as wars were fought over territory, the treaty held firm. But the calm was not destined to last forever. Decades later, new tensions began to bubble to the surface. India started constructing a series of hydroelectric dams in Jammu and Kashmir, on the rivers allocated to Pakistan. Projects like the Baglanhar and Kishanganj dams became major points of contention. Pakistan views these dams as a direct threat, fearing that India could gain the ability to control the timing and flow of water, potentially drying up Pakistani fields. During critical planting seasons, India maintains that it is only using the water for power generation, not for diversion, as allowed by the treaty. But for Pakistan, it's a matter of national survival. In a country where over 90% of agriculture depends on the Indus, even a few days of water disruption could spell disaster. Beyond the political maneuvering, an even greater threat looms: climate change. The Himalayan glaciers, the frozen reservoirs that feed the entire Indus system, are melting at an alarming rate. In the short term, this means more frequent and devastating floods, but in the long term, it means less water for everyone. Scientists warn that by 2050, severe water stress could push both India and Pakistan into a full-blown environmental emergency. When you add rapid population growth, increasing pollution, and surging urban demand into the mix, the Indus Basin starts to look like a ticking time bomb. But the Indus conflict isn't just a two-player game. The river story begins in China. On the Tibetan Plateau, China's upstream position gives it quiet but significant leverage over both India and Pakistan. Meanwhile, Afghanistan, through which the Kabul River flows before joining the Indus in Pakistan, is also seeking more control over its water resources. The Indus Basin is quickly becoming a complex geopolitical chessboard where every move made by one player has ripple effects across the entire region, shaping its future in profound ways. So, could there ever be a water war? Experts have long warned of this frightening possibility. In South Asia, conflict fought not over land or ideology, but over rivers. While an open, declared war seems unlikely for now, water is already being used as a weapon of diplomacy and influence. Both India and Pakistan have dropped hints that if one side violates the treaty, the other could retaliate. As water grows scarcer with each passing year, the tensions rise silently, one dam, one canal, one melting glacier at a time. The real question is, who truly controls the Indus? The answer is unsettling. No one fully, and everyone partially. But this story doesn't have to end in conflict. Many experts believe the Indus could become a bridge, not a barrier. Imagine a future of cooperation, joint water management projects, transparent data sharing to predict floods and droughts, and collaborative efforts to combat the effects of climate change. Imagine if India and Pakistan chose to invest not in more weapons, but in shared water security, modern irrigation technology, and sustainable farming. The Indus River, after all, doesn't recognize human-made borders, it simply flows. Perhaps it's time humanity learned from its wisdom. The Indus has witnessed the rise and fall of empires, the drawing of borders, and the birth of nations. It gave life to one of the world's most ancient civilizations, and today, it holds the key to one of its most fragile peace stories. Because in the end, in this part of the world, those who control the water truly control the future. What do you think? Can water unite where politics divide? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the forces that shape our world. Thanks for watching.